Live for the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Welcome race fans, one and all, back to Green Flag TV, where this afternoon we are set to kick off yet another season of OMSRL action here on Tuesday nights. Welcome to the OMSRL Gold Series presented by SimRacerHub and to the SimRacerHub 150. My name is Ola Rambo, bringing you all of racing action from start to finish of this fantastic Tuesday night of racing set to kick off for us here on Tuesday night. It's going to be a wild ride throughout the entire course of today as we get set to go racing over at the World Center of Racing, a staple to any NASCAR calendar and bound to be home to an absolutely stellar race here this afternoon. Of course, a 60-lap, 150-mile main event getting set to kick off for us here this afternoon. Before we get to that, though, twin 10-lap duels will set the grid as well as qualifying here this afternoon. Schedule for the season, it's looking to be a good one as we'll start things off here this afternoon at Daytona. That is followed up by a trip out to Las Vegas next week, followed by Iowa and Road America to close out July. August will see us race through Phoenix, Indianapolis, and Dover before kicking things off for September at Charlotte with a one-week break, followed by Homestead Miami Speedway with Richmond, Darlington, Echo Park Speedway, Talladega, New Hampshire, Kansas, and of course Auto Club, closing out the season in November. All of this and more, with plenty of action to come yet this afternoon. The one report we're getting from drivers this afternoon, things are not looking stable underneath those race cars here this afternoon, especially on corner exit, and with 12-mile-an-hour crosswinds and a 102-degree Fahrenheit track temperature, it is some fierce conditions that these drivers are having to contend with out there on the racetrack, and that is no doubt hampering the progress of several as they try to get this race working for them and try to get this track weathered in by the time we get up and around into duel number one here this afternoon. About a minute left then in qualifying, and right now it's looking to be a pretty solid effort here this afternoon. Sean Bounty sits atop the points boards for the time being, with Cole Fraley down in the number 2 spot. Those two drivers would be locked on to the front row of the grid if they're able to pick out these times here in qualifying. But these final times are really starting to come in force. Plenty of newcomers to the season. One of the drivers here is one of the newcomers, Michael Garone, with the driver of the number 66. Looking set to try and put in a flying lap here this afternoon. He is, of course, one of several that is making his debut here this afternoon, along with several returning faces as well. Jacob Miralez is making his return. Cody Anderson making his debut this afternoon. Wes Wiegand, I believe, making his debut. Dustin Reinstedel making his debut, along with Albert Williams, Tyler Hessling, Alex Healy, and more. Other drivers like Nathaniel Ames, Jacob Noyes, Sean Bounty all make returns. Michael Garone is going to put himself, by the way, right at the buzzer into number 2 on the grid, and he will lock himself in onto the front row of racing action here this afternoon. So with all of that said and done, qualifying is going to draw to a close, and it's about high time that we take a rundown for what things are going to look like here for duel number 1 this afternoon. And they'll line up a little something like this for the first of 2 this afternoon. Cole Fralick starts things off on pole position. He is going to be starting on the front row on pole no matter what this afternoon. He starts alongside Barry Morton's number 9, with the likes of Davey Hazard sitting back in number 3 just behind, with the Shake Bake Racing number 75 alongside Joseph Plogger making his debut with the SimRacerHub.com number 10. Row 3 going to hold Grant Peterson with the driver the number 52 alongside Hunter Thrower, with row number 4 holding Wes Wiegand, with Jake's Junk number 2 alongside Tyler Hurlbert in the number 87. From there, row 5 will hold Sean Kaiser with the Spartan Fitness number 24 alongside Ryan Dingler with the SimRacerHub number 16 for Cornerstone Motorsports. Back there then in row number 6 is going to be Tyler Hessling with the number 82 alongside the Logitech 00 of Colton Hopfer. Row number 7 holding Maxwell Kroll alongside Robert Peterson, with row number 8 holding Dylan Wilbers for NWMF Motorsports alongside Justin Wilson. And then it's going to be closing out the field, Clinton Sneen for Whole Shot Motorsports with SimRacerHub.com number 49. So the field effectively set then here this afternoon for duel number 1. At 10 laps, cautions are enabled, green, white checkers are enabled, and all of that set to kind of throw up some interesting action here for us here this afternoon. Just waiting on Dylan Wilbers and Justin Wilson to close things out here before we are set to go racing here for the next 10 laps of racing action for duel number 1. And as always, this race set to be a stellar one here this afternoon. I am personally looking forward into seeing how racing action is going to pan out here on this Tuesday afternoon. This race, man, I mean, you can always feel that tension build whenever you rock up here to a brand new series. Lots of new looks around the field. Of course, SimRacerHub coming on board as the brand new title sponsor for the season here this afternoon. As the field going to get set to roll on out for duel number 1. So the field works their way down to the Daytona Super Stretch here this afternoon, and this here going to give us a real good taste on what we can expect to see. I think throughout the duration of the race here this afternoon. Of course, this one definitely going to be a race to remember. The duels at Daytona, always something special whenever you rock on up here, and I'm willing to bet it's going to be no different here this afternoon. Well, the field going to work their way through turn numbers 3 and 4 here this afternoon. And once again, we are ready to get a brand new season of racing action kicked off for us here this afternoon. 10 laps the distance. This will set the inside row of the SimRacerHub 150, and it will be in the hands of Cole Freilich, who will look to take this field down to the green flag. On board with Davey Hazard as he runs side by side with Cole Freilich and more. It will be the likes of Barry Mortonville up top who will lead the way at the end of lap number 1 here this afternoon. Plenty of racing action here on the boards and ready to really get out here at full force here this afternoon as the whole field, I think, is going to be absolutely set for a barn burner. Coming around through turn numbers 3 and 4, Barry Morton leads the way at the end of lap number 1. The question is, will he lead the way at the end of lap number 2? My bet, well, I was going to say probably not. Here comes Cole Freilich on the bottom side. Not going to get there, though. Morton continues to lead the way. So the racing continues on here this afternoon. as Barrett Morton will continue on his strong pace up at the head of the field. So far, not too many aggressive moves being made. We remain only double file here. Thought for sure we might have seen some of that 3 wide by now, but I think a lot of drivers out here just trying to play it safe, trying to be safe rather than sorry. And hey, I can't exactly say I blame them. It's a long race, right? The last thing you want to be doing is taking yourself out of contention here in the early going. Working off of turn numbers 1 and 2. Back down to super stretch as thrower going to go up the middle. And the 87 machine of Tyler Hurlbutt now being put 3 wide up the middle lane here. Hunter Thrower kind of caught up all by his lonesome up on the outside line of the racetrack. Just can't find a hole to get in there up on the top side. Thrower is going to be able to kind of top back in line before losing all the ground he had made up over the course of this race. Nearly halfway through duel number 1. The 2 main pushers. Oh, look out behind! As around, going to go Maxwell Kroll. Sean Kaiser's caught up, and Wes Wigan gets caught up. And a multi-car pile will put us under the caution flag for the first time this season. So Barrett Morton, one of the main contenders and one of the first contenders to get caught up in the melee. Take a look back on what happened here coming down the back straightaway. Looked like just a bad bump and a checkup on that outside line. And Thrower ended up pushing the Logitech 00 of Colton Hopefner into it. Around went the number 2 of Wes Wiegand. Sean Kaiser caught up in a big way. Look at Maxwell Kroll just managing to slip through up the top side as well to get around that. Overall, that wreck easily could have been far worse than it ended up being. Quite a T-bone shot, though, that the number 2 car took it. Man! Kroll with the juke up high. Just locks it down hard on the brakes up top, and he's going to get around him. And interestingly enough, Cole Freilich, yeah, I kind of thought so. 10-lap run, you got no reason to be coming down pit road. Plenty of racing action still yet to go here this afternoon as some drivers have opted to come down to pit road. This race will look to restart with about 4 laps left to run. Make that 2 laps left to run, sorry. So we are going to get set here for a nat green-white checker. We have not hit the overtime mark in Duel 1 just yet. Now, all duels have the chance for up to 3 overtime attempts. That would, of course, mean tagging 2 laps on. You go green, you go white, you go checkered. Green, white, checkered. Self-explanatory. People were taking bets if we were going to get the big wreck before. Bear Morton leads the way. Cole Fraley down in second. Joseph Plogger back in third. Hazard fourth. Hurlbut in fifth. So we are going to get them re-racked and restacked for a 2-lap shootout. Barrett Morton running in number 1, Fralick in number 2. Everyone else gridded up behind. The 17th runner did not opt to take to the starting grid here this afternoon, so we have 16 still on the racetrack, and all competitors back behind the pace card, all on the lead lap after several, like Hopfner, Kaiser, Sneed, and Wigan all came down for damage repairs and some fresh tires. Two laps the distance. We'll look to put duel number 1 in the books. Things got a little bit hairy there for a moment, and I'm expecting it's not going to be coming down anytime soon. Green flag coming out this time by in the Geico restart zone. Bear Morton leads the field back to green. Two-lap dash in the opening heat of the season. Cole Fraley pushed up top by Davey Hazard. Morton being pushed down low by rookie Joseph Plogger. Oh, Fralick up top, nearly got spun. Coming around into 3 and 4. Do we make it around to see the white flag? Final lap coming out this time by. And we will make it back. So duel number 1 has yet to be decided. Some drivers opting for 3 wide in the background. Working down the back straightaway. Fralick up top. Morton down low. Who's the first one to make that ball move? We're gonna go Robert Peterson. They come together on the back straightaway. 6 cars all sliding in the field. A vicious hit into the inside wall for Maxwell Kroll. While off of turn numbers 3 and 4. Plogger looking low. Morton blocks. Fraley can't make the move up high. Morton blocks him up top. Barrett Morton hangs on to win the opening duel of the afternoon. 1 10-lap run in the books. And another 10-lap run not too far behind as the drivers that got caught up in that big crash on the back straightaway are all going to get themselves involved. So with all that said and done, here comes the grid for duel number 2 here this afternoon. Another 17-car field and another 10-lap run coming at you. It is Gabriel Ellison for the SimRacerHub.com, number 27 to lead the way, ahead of the safety culture, number 88 for Easy Stars Motorsports of Cannes, France. Row 2 going to hold Brett Rucker with the Warhorse, number 69, down in 3rd place alongside Cody Anderson with the JGR machine down in 4th. Row number 3 holding James Silvers in the Waynesville Tire from North Carolina, number 4 for Cornerstone Motorsports. James Silvers, of course, coming off of losing the championship to his teammate David Farmer last season. He's looking for more this afternoon. He lines up alongside the Bass Pro Shops number 1 of Austin Gassion. Row 3 holds the defending champion David Farmer alongside Dustin Reinstedel for Team Cornerstone, the sister team. Starting down at the number 8 spot. Row number 5 headed up by Justin Ray, one of the rookies in number 38, alongside Albert Williams, a fellow rookie, down in 10th. Row number 6 holds Alex Healy with GG's number 13 alongside the Jake's Junk number 5 of Matt Grenier. Row number 7 holds Nathaniel Ames in the Transients number 28 alongside the DeWalt Camaro of Noah Swafford. From there, row 8 holds Jacob Noyes alongside Stefan Purcell with Jacob Miralez. Bringing it up in row number 9, the lone car on the back row. All 17 cars have gridded and all 17 cars are out there now on the racetrack. So Gabriel Ellison leads the way. Plenty of rookies in this field. The rookies include Ellison, Anderson, Reinstedel, Ray, that is Justin Ray, Grenier, Healy, and Miralez, all with plenty to prove here this afternoon. And what better way to get acquainted than the 10-lap shootout, which will set the outside row for the SimRacerHub 150. Field works off of turn numbers 3 and 4, and once again, we are ready to get the party started. Gabriel Ellison, pushed by Brett Rucker, will look to lead us to the green flag into the Geico restart zone. Duel 2 is underway. Side by side, all the way back through the 17-car field. Up top, it's going to be James Silvers, the runner-up from last season, who will lead the way at the end of lap number 1. He is pushed by his teammate and defending champion David Farmer. Alex Penn, as always, crew chiefing for all Cornerstone competitors here this afternoon. Silvers continues to make tracks up high, with Farmer trying to get in the mix. There's a look to the middle groove. Cannes, France, getting aggressive early on, and they all kind of tap out behind. Alex Healy nearly going around. Now Gassion caught in the middle. Farmer up top with no help. And boy, it's getting feisty early on here at duel number 2. Clearly taking some notes from the opening duel of the afternoon. Albert Williams with the fastest lap so far in the opening duel. He will put down A 47.947 from the middle of the field. Well, after that, oh no! Into the outside wall goes Silvers! The whole field is going to get caught up in it! And it's the huge one on the back straightaway as everybody is involved. The entire field getting caught up in a massive melee. The only driver that really escaped was the pole sitter, Gabriel Ellison. Good gosh, a massive crash though on the back straightaway. Puts us under the caution flag for the second time tonight. And this one started off with James Silvers in the middle line. Got a bat bump from behind, right rear hooked into the outside wall, and it was just on from there. And watch as the whole field falls apart. Only about 3 or 4 escaped through the bottom. And just when you think it's over, even more of them get caught up as they just keep running into each other all the way down the stretch into turn 3. Just a massive collision coming down the stretch. Let's take a look at it from up high in the air. There's the hook into the wall, and it was on from there. Wow, I don't think a single driver got out of that unscathed outside of the front runner. Absolutely tremendous pileup that we've seen. Now, there was actually one car that slipped through the middle, and that driver was Noah Swafford, right on board with the driver, the number 17, who is now in seventh place because of this. Sees the wreck, checks her up pretty much immediately, and while everyone else got involved, he was able to just sneak right through the middle and pick up a boatload of spots as a result. Boy, if you're Ellison, you are breathing a huge sigh of relief with that one. That has taken out a good chunk of your competition. The only problem is now you're at the head of the field with no protection against what else might happen throughout this race. Well, this caution coming out a little ways before the halfway point, we are going to be able to close in a good while. Field going to line up double file, and we'll get set to go at it again with 4 to go. Well, a big one takes out half the field. Now, a good chunk of the field has been able to get themselves back up and sorted. In fact, everyone's still on the lead lap after coming down to pit road to get some damage repaired. A lot of cars were collected, but not a lot of really hard impacts, I think, is kind of what saves a majority of this field from worse damage. And we're going to look set to do it all over again. So the field set to go at it. 4 laps will take us to the close of duel number 2, and we will have things set up for the main event. Gabriel Ellison tracking clear as the field is going to fight their way around through 1 and 2. Three wide already in the background. Farmer and Silvers trying to go up the middle. They've got Austin Gassion going with them. The 99 trying to cover him off. Miralez trying to shut the door. Oh, big trouble. Miralez blinked out. He blinked out. They didn't know where to go. They all stack him up. Caution's out again, and this one's going to be overtime. Yellow flag out once again. As bold as it was to go up the middle, I don't think that was any fault of the attacking drivers. Take a look here, coming down the back straight. Watch here, Miralez flashes out. Farmer made a bit of... that's a toughie. I think Miralez may be a bit of a very late block on that one, right as he flashed out. James Silvers escapes unharmed, but the 11 car gets tangled up in it of Dustin Reistettel, one of the rookies. The 22 sneaks through on the apron. But that was only after he punted David Farmer back up the racetrack. I mean, bit of indecision, I think, for Reistettel, and maybe the middle line just pushed a little bit too aggressively early on. And all of this sees us under the yellow flag once again. Top 6 currently have not had to come down to pit road. The running order is Ellison, Anderson, Rucker, Healy, Noyes, and Swafford. Everyone else from about 7th on down has had to come down to pit road for one type of damage repair or another. David Farmer fully out of the race as a result of that. So is Dustin Reistettel. They will have to start their race from the tail end of the field here this afternoon. Nathaniel Ames still in pit road. Albert Williams coming down pit road. So our first attempt at overtime this afternoon, and it will take place in duel number 2, just shy of the 60-lap main event coming on up. And this lap we're about to start was set to be the final lap of the duel. And of course, we will reset and we'll have 2 more instead. Inside row, of course, is already set. Outside row is the one we are trying to determine. As the field is stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go at it once again. Take one more look at the crash from up high. We'll see if we can dissect just a little bit more about what maybe led to all of this. Look at the big run these guys get down the middle. I mean, Gassion pushing Silvers. Silvers pushing Farmer. Farmer kind of gets pushed by his teammate into Miralez, who, of course, did have the blinking problems, but I don't think that was the root cause. And that just created a massive bottleneck, and frankly surprised that there weren't more drivers caught up in that. One driver that did a particularly good job of getting around, that was Justin Ray, who now starts on the outside line back in 10th. So Ray with a chance for potentially a really good starting position coming on up here in the main event. Pace car is pulling in this time by 2 laps the distance. And it will be Gabriel Ellison leading us back to green. Up high, 3 by 3 wide, all the way up by the outside wall. Brett Rucker looking to hold on to the lead as we come to the white flag. Ellison trying to look high, quickly looks back low. Jacob Noyes going to follow through with Ellison down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Now the look for 3 wide up high. Here comes Cody Anderson. Anderson with a big charge up top. That's going to stall the outside line. Contact up into the wall. Looking for 3, 4 down the back straightaway. Cars going around. Cars spinning to the inside. Grenadier down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Several into the grass. Up front, Ellison still trying to pull clear. Jacob Noyes behind, but here comes the top line of Brett Rucker. Shoved forward by Connor LaFrance. Neck and neck, down to the stripe, up high. Rucker without the run. Ellison hangs on by 6 thou. Make that 19 for the win, with Purcell putting down the fastest lap of the race. And with all that said and done, we got your field fully set for the SimRacerHub 150 here this afternoon. And it's going to be a mad scramble now to see who is going to end up starting where in the main race here this afternoon. So it's main event time. And your field of 36 cars strong is kicked off with Sean Boundy taking the pole in qualifying. He starts on the front row for Cornerstone Motorsports. He is alongside Michael Garone with the SimRacerHub.com number 2, putting in that lap with less than 30 seconds to go. Row 2 headed up by Bear Morton, the winner of Duel number 1, alongside Duel 2 winners Gabriel Ellison, with Row 3 headed up by Davey Hazard and Joseph Plugger and Brett Rucker. Row 4 holds Cole Frail against Jacob Noyes. Davey Hazard, I was mentioned, is all the way back on Row 5, starting the 9th on the inside alongside Conor LaFrance. Row 6 holds Tyler Hurlbut alongside James Silvers. Silvers with a lot of work to do after he found himself with problems in that opening round. Grant Peterson starting in 13th place on Row 7 alongside Austin Gassion. Top half of the field closed out by Ryan Dingler and Stefan Purcell. Moving on back, it's Justin Wilson and Albert Williams in 17th and 18th, with all the way back in the field Wes Wigan and Noah Swafford 19th and 20th. Colton Hopner starts 21st alongside Alex Healy, with row number 12 holding Robert Peterson and Justin Ray. Row 13 with Clinton Sneed and Jacob Miralez. Miralez, of course, hoping he's got those blinking issues figured out for the SimRacerHub 150 here this afternoon. Hunter Thrower and Cody Anderson back in 27th and 28th. Closing out the top 30 is going to be Tyler Hessling and Matt Grenier, who both have problems on the final lap of their respective heats. Sean Kaiser starts 31st alongside Dustin Reinstedel. 32nd will hold the likes of Maxwell Kroll alongside Nathaniel Ames. From there, back of the field, headed up by Dylan Wilbers with defending champion David Farmer with a mountain to climb at the back of the field. Several drivers making their way out and on to the racetrack here this afternoon. Albert Williams will be starting his race from pit road, as will Alex Healy this afternoon. Before we go green flag racing, some quick words of thanks being given out here to SimRacerHub. Since 2009, SimRacerHub.com has been the premier destination for iRacing league scoring. Their mission is to provide you with the most comprehensive and user-friendly tools to manage your league schedules, results, points, and stats. Plus, their highly active Discord community is always ready to assist with questions or issues. Ready to take the plunge? Create a league today and join their community of passionate sim racers. Find out more at SimRacerHub.com. Field works their way out of turn numbers 3 and 4. And a new season ready to fully kick off proper this afternoon. The pace car's off, and the OMSRL Gold Series returns to racing action. It's go, go, go for the SimRacerHub 150. Off of turn number 4, the whole field in full swing as we fire it back down in the round and in towards the front straightaway once again. Barrett Morton leads the way. At the end of lap number 1, taking it away from Sean Boundy as well as Michael Garone, who has dropped back to 4th. Joseph Plogger pushing down to the inside lane of the racetrack. Well, the field is packed up all on top of each other as they take off down the Daytona Superstretch for the first time this afternoon. And this 2x2 is racing action that I expect to see being the norm for a good chunk of the race here this afternoon, with nobody really eager on making those aggressive looks this early on in the race. Again, two drivers started from pit road, Albert Williams and Alex Healy, both at the tail of the field. You did see them exiting pit road on that opening lap, but were not able to catch the tail end of the draft. So now, without them being around each other, they're going to be in a world of hurt here, and they are hoping for an early caution to keep themselves from going a lap down. Continue to blast down the front straightaway and in towards turn one. Fastest lap of the race, constantly being reset, and is it any surprise that the resets are coming from drivers deeper in the field like Dylan Wilbers, as these guys are able to just kind of back things up, get a massive run that the front runners just are not able to get, and allows them to hold on to those fastest lap awards, which does play quite a hefty factor in how these races pan on out. So definitely something to keep an eye out for, especially here in the Super Speedway running. With there being no chase, no playoffs here in this season, you never wanted to get caught out on points. And given by how last season the two main drivers of the championship entered the final race tied for the points lead, every point matters. Clearly drivers know that. Nathaniel Ames, fast lap of the race from 28th. So far, so good with all 36 cars still very much running on the racetrack. And all in this front pack, bar two. Nearly 5 laps in the books already. Sean Bounty pulls clear of Bear Morton down low. But he's not going to be able to really secure that lead for long, because here comes Morton right back up on the top side. Riding on board here with Jacob Noyes. As Noyes really trying to fight his way forward. Oh, here we go. Bit of 3 wide already. Didn't expect to see this in the early moves here. Cole Freilich getting the elbows up. He's going to go up the middle. Brett Rucker trying to go with him. Oh, that's a real brave look to be making this early on. Only 6 laps in. Might be thinking about the stage. Garone being pushed out on the top side, as well as Ellison. So 2 of the rookies, the Duel 2 winner and the outside pole sitter, being muscled out early on by some of the series veterans. Still 3 by 3 as the field tracks through turns 1 and 2. Well, Ellison going to be able to get into the middle line here and might be dragging the brake just a bit, trying to leave a hole to try and allow Garone to get down with him, and he is going to do just that. So the two SimRacerHub.com machines, I'm assuming teammates here, going to be able to stem the bleeding. And how about the 88 car Todd of France looking for the inside? Well, Cole Freilich's brave look up the middle didn't get him very far, as he runs behind Barrett Morton. Oh, a big lunge up front. Oh, look out, hold on. Cars into the infield, cars onto the apron. Tyler Hurlbut trying to get back onto the racetrack. No room to get up and in there. Now he's gonna find a way to get up there. Didn't really have much choice. We got 1 car around to the back straightaway. Dylan Wilbers has been spun. So Wilbers is around. The back portion of the field has been completely broken apart. We have not had a caution flag, though. We stay green. This is what happened to Wilbers. Oh, holy cow. We'll back that up a bit further as they just got run over coming into turn number 3. When the field got stacked up front, everyone here started to check. Maxwell Kroll spun way to the inside. Just kept it off the inside wall while Wilbers went fully around. And again, no yellow flag. We will keep this race clean. Flogger and Bounty now lead 1 and 2. And 2 seconds off is Tyler Hesseling. And drivers started to lose the draft quickly. Purcell, Kroll, Reinstedel, Kaiser, all have lost the draft. Hunter Thrower, the fastest lap of the race that time by. I expect to see some major shakeups for the fastest lap bonus point. While the rest of the big field takes to the back straightaway. So Bounty and Plogger continuing to lead both lanes. Davey Hazard about to pull clear with second down to the inside. Now we're 3 wide again. This time it's Jacob Noyes getting muscled out. Swaffer, I thought, might try to go with him. Right now, no help for the number 3 up high. Garone running the middle lane. I know he knows the feeling of being kind of muscled out there. Bit of contact behind. Nearly put the 50 engine of Justin Wilson into the outside wall. Well, if the guys back there were 1 in the caution flag, they might get it pretty early here. Over under was lap 15. Less than 10 laps to go in stage number 1 this afternoon. The stage ends at the end of lap 21. There will be no caution flag for the stage, but there are points awarded for the top 10. That is contributing to a lot of the aggression that we are seeing right now. Still 3 by 3 wide as they work down the front straightaway and into the tri-oval. You know, 3 wide often works at Talladega, but at Daytona, you got about a lane less. Gosh, it still makes me nervous every time I see it. As you look aboard from the spotter stand, and I mean, wouldn't it be any easier to spot this race? I can promise you that much. But you can see all the varying lanes Grant Peterson put onto the apron. Heads up Grant, as Grant gonna get muscled up. He is gonna get pushed out of line. We remain going the right direction though. That inside lane though has been checked up and now everything is discombobulated. Nearly 3 by 3 wide, just about. Noise catch the outside wall next to the tri-oval. Fraley, the lone car, pulling clear up front. 3 wide for second, 5th, and 8th. And up front, lapped traffic. It's the 13 of Alex Healy. Healy pulls onto the apron, wants nothing to do with this. An aggressive move from Plogger. Gets up in front of Garone. And the 13 trying to force a hole to get up there. He's not going to be able to do so. He'll lose a lap. He might lose the draft all over again. When you lap traffic, you want to try to let the field through on the outside to try and keep yourself from losing as much time as possible. When they're 3 by like this, you just can't do anything about it. If we do get a crash, it is going to be a monumental one. Wes Wigan now, fastest lap of the race. Cole Freilich trying to shut out Sean Bounty, but Bounty not having it. And now Freilich caught the sucker hole because Plugger doesn't want to work with him. So no help for poor Cole Freilich in the middle line. He's going to lose a handful of spots before he gets some assistance. The 87. A huge bobble in the middle for Tyler Hurlbutt. Wigan reset the fat slap of the race, and you can taste the big one coming. You can see it. It's only a matter of time. They cannot keep racing like this as aggressively as they are. Oh, now the 50 car. Justin wasn't put onto the apron. He's able to get back up there before the corner. It's about the fourth car in a row, though, that's been put down onto the apron. Started to get it back down to 2. Jacob Noyes, who was one of the front runners, now caught in the sucker hole. Conor LaFrance wants to make moves up high. LaFrance trying to reestablish the third line. Oh, David Farmer just caught the fence entering turn 1. Is he trying to go up to help? Farmer, of course, coming in here as the defending champion. His teammate James Silvers pushed onto the apron, able to gather it up. Only about 5 laps to go. Make it 4 laps to go in stage 1. Sean Bounty continuing to lead the way up front. A lot of movers, a lot of shakers. One of the only guys that hasn't moved around much, though, is Bounty, who has been in the top 5 the entirety of this race so far. Now he cruises into turn numbers 3 and 4, looking for 3 to go in the stage. Boy, I'm telling you, a phenomenal fight that these guys have been putting on so far tonight. Oh, boy, we got the 66 of Garone caught with no help up top. His teammate, though, Plugger, trying to go up. They're going to try to open up a third lane. Now the question is, will the other SimRacerHub car of Ellison go up and do the same and join them? Sean Bounty still leads. Two laps to go in stage 1. Oh, and around! We got cars spinning onto the apron. Nathaniel Lane's going to get turned. Caution comes out. The 82 goes sliding of hustling, and that will see an end to the stage. But the stage does not end at the yellow. It ends on the lap, so not technically over yet. Well, it started with Nathaniel Ames. As they came around through turn numbers 3 and 4. A bad bump from Farmer puts Ames down to the Gassillon. They both spun down to the inside of the racetrack. Farmer caught the outside wall. And up the road, hustling, kind of just went around in sympathy. There you see the 82 spinning down to the bottom side. And oh, hello. There was more up high as the 5 of Grenier kind of got caught up there as well. Spun the 82 down. Well, the stage is going to be ending this lap. I'd imagine Cole Fraley would be your Stage 1 winner. Sure enough, here comes the entire field down pit road. No surprises here. Expecting 4 tires and fuel all around. Cole Fraley was the driver that took the win at the end of Stage 1. Oh, Morton, that might, yeah, that's going to be a readjustment. That's going to be devastating for the Spirit Crest Digital number 9. How about that? Davey Hazard going to win the race off of pit road with the number 34 in hot pursuit just behind. Split call, some taking fuel, some taking 4, some taking 2. All of this set to really bring this race to life in the closing stages. Well, we're going to take ourselves a quick step back, and when we return, racing action resumes on Green Flag TV for the SimRacerHub 150.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV, where we are just moments away from kicking off racing action once again here for the SimRacerHub 150 to open up a new season of the OMSRL Gold Series presented by SimRacerHub. Plenty of racing action still yet to be had here this afternoon. Started on the inside of row number 2, going to be the man that won the opening stage of the afternoon. That would be Cole Fraley. Took the win under caution in pit road, and we'll look to give him a chit-chat at some point further on down the line. Most drivers taking 4 tires and fuel. The only ones that differed from that strategy, Davey Hazard, who took fuel only, Sean Bounty, who took 2. So unique strategy calls, and I'm curious how that's going to pan on out. Now, drivers were mentioning that stability on corner exit was a major problem with the cars here this afternoon, so that might be one to watch out for Hazard. Bounty clearly thinks he's got something working with him with those 2 tires. May have only swapped out the left sides. That tends to be the ones that you change out the most on the super speedway. Bit of stacking up going on down here on the inside line, but the field going to work their way into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air, and the SimRacerHub 150 resumes. Well, Cole Fralick not wasting any time. Going to go to the outside line to try to get around Davey Hazard, being pushed by Sean Boundy. Just over half of this race yet to go. Boundy, not one to help Fralick out too much, though, as he quickly abandons him and switches to the inside. Looking to drive to the point himself as he's going to get some assistance from Davey Hazard. Now that stage one is in the books, you would assume that this field will be a little bit more cautious. Shockingly enough, we didn't get the big one. It ended off of just two cars spinning around out of the tri-oval. But you never know when you get a race like this. All 36 cars are still on the lead lap, and all 36 cars on the racetrack. That caution flag, a big helping hand to Alex Healy, who had gone a lap down. He took the lucky dog wave around and was able to, as a result, be right up there with the front runners. "35 laps still on the boards. And 5 to go still before the halfway point. Colton Hofner ducking down onto the apron of the racetrack in the Logitech 00. I think he's getting a little bit unnerved by Miralez's blinking in front of him. You're on board Tyler Hesseling, who can really get a good angle of it. And it is not a fun time that some of these drivers are having here, trying to deal with some of the blinking. I mean, that's something you can work with on a mile-and-a-half track, not so much on a tightly packed together super speedway like this. And you can see how much that is checking off that inside line. I think someone's got to really get in the 9-9 here and say, hey, you're being a problem here. You might want to consider dropping to the tail end, because a good chunk of that inside lane is just not willing to make moves to get around him, and understandably so. They saw what happened in the Duel race, and they're not keen on it. Tyler Hurlbutt now up to the high side. Have the drive to number 87, going to put 3 wide with Grant Peterson and Brett Rucker down below him. Defending champion David Farmer also in the mix for the Cornerstone Motorsports crew. And catching the outside wall there for Hurlbutt. He will get down in line right between Farmer and Justin Wilson, but again, getting a little bit hairy there. 2 by all the way down the back straightaway. Hunter Thoreau making a return after he has gotten some renovations done on his racing rig, bringing the exalted number 83 Camaro back to bear. On board with Justin Ray, one of the drivers kind of running a little bit behind Colton Hopner and co. Just trying to back things up and take it easy. Wanting to make sure that he's in a good position to avoid the wreck if one does come out. You can see him feathering that throttle all the way down the back straightaway. He wants to keep close, but not too close. And with still over half this race to go, I think that is reasonable. still yet to come throughout the month of July. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Iowa Speedway, and our first and only road course race of the season from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin at Road America. Race I'm looking forward to the most out of that, Vegas. Always a good race in Vegas, every single time on Green Flag TV. That track, it puts up stellar action. OMSRL has had some of their wildest finishes at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and well, with it being the first one up with another 150 mile run, 100 lapper, expected to be a good one as well. Oh, hold on, behind, 3 wide, and up into the wall goes 100th thrower. Able to catch and recover. Noah Swafford still 3 wide up top. Not a lot of help for that Duel number 17. And Bear Morton is saying, okay, well, if you're going to go up, I'll go up the middle. Fine by me. And they find a hole and get things sorted out. Well, boy, there's a reason why people say that Daytona is the quintessential season opener, and this is exactly why. With all 36 cars still packed up under an immensely tight blanket. Oh, no, look out, hang on! Nathaniel Ames going sliding up into traffic, and it's the big one on the back straightaway entering turn number 3. Through 3, through 4, several cars involved. That all started with Nathaniel Ames getting turned right in the middle of the pack. And it was just on from there. Bear Morton tried to go up the middle, no room. Turned Ames down into Miralez. Around goes the 28. Colton Hofner trying to slow down. He got caught up with the 38. There goes Jacob Noyes. Hunter Throw got involved. Behind, you can see drivers piling in as well, having a bit of a secondary crash in the background as well. Ames definitely got some of the worst out of all of that. One after another, and that was Cody Anderson to the number 20. That got shot for a ride, and he got rid up on by the 4 of James Silvers. That is what caught him out. And that move just wasn't gonna work. All things considered, could have been a worse wreck. Get a ride on board here with the number 11 entry of Dustin Reinstedel. Kind of got into the 2, slipped it inside, and boy, was really working that wheel to try and get that thing onto the apron. A great job to get around that for Reinstedel. Well, yellow flag number 2 is out this afternoon. Why not? Let's try to get a word in here with the winner of stage number 1 here this afternoon. We'll bring Cole Freilich up here into the broadcast booth. Cole, this is Nolan Rempel. Got a copy?
Hi, hello.
Well, you win stage 1. It does happen under caution, but hey, a stage win's a stage win, and you're looking good on points so far tonight.
Yeah, we're just trying to get out of Daytona with a good points haul, and honestly, I like the group I'm around right now. It's a bunch of regulars, so I'm kind of used to racing everybody. I kind of made a joke earlier that the last time me, Sean, and Davey were 1, 2, 3, it did not end well for Sean, but yeah, we're just having a good time and just trying to make it to the end.
Overall, the field's shown some spark in them this afternoon. A lot of 3 wide, even in the early going of this race. How do you plan on fighting against that when we get down later in the race? Because it's not going to get any better.
You just got to know what line to go with. You got to know who you're working with. There's 3 cars in this field, all sponsored by SimRacerHub. They're all pretty good, so I feel like they'll be a threat towards the end of this thing. But I think if I can keep Rob behind me or Connor, one of those guys, I will be all right. Barrett, if he gets back up here, that'll help out. But yeah, there's a lot of good help. Just got to find it.
All right, we wish you the best of luck when we go racing once again. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again at the end of this thing.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Cole Fraley, winner of stage number 1. Still with a lot of work ahead of him, though. He'll start on the on the outside of Sean Boundy as we're 1 to green. Well, the field going to work down the back straightaway, and once again, we are looking set to have an absolutely stellar afternoon. 2 cautions so far, 1 coming out around the lap 21 mark, or the lap 20 mark, the other one coming out just a handful of laps ago with the big one. Sean Boundy leading the way. Fralick up high above him. And the group will look to see what's what. 36 start of the race. 35 on the lead lap. Yet all 36 still in the running. Wes Wigan 2 laps down. Into the restart zone. 25 laps to go. And the green flag is back out. Boundy, Hazard, Plogger all leading the way. Joseph Plogger hopping up to the top side. Gonna look to help out Cole Fraley to get back to the front. And I will in the back probably just wanted to get up there for himself, and then he might abandon the 15 entry. As little by little, this pack starts to form up once more. There goes Cole Fraley up high, not wanting to help out any of those SimRacerHub cars. He mentioned they might be a threat, and he wants to make sure he tries to assert some dominance here. Plogger not having it, though, trying to side draft him back in line. It's going to be too little too late. David Farmer will look up with him, and now he's going to have Gabriel Ellison go up there to help him out. Robert Peterson still caught up on the outside line, 3 wide, with nothing he can do about it. He's got no help. Peterson might be able to find a hole here. He will. Gets in line between Tyler Hesseling and Austin Gassion. Still a lot of race left, and I think a lot of these drivers are starting to realize that after the very much rapid-fire moves that we saw in the early going. Gabriel Ellison up high. Sean Bounty running just underneath him. Joseph Plogger, Davey Hazard also still in the mix. Peterson and Freilich. 5th and 6th on row number 3. Double file all throughout. All it takes is one driver to want to push it for 3. And it's just going to cause this race to once again enter that third dimension that we've already seen twice tonight. I feel like it's almost a game of chicken. Who wants to make that move first? Because you don't want to be in the lead on the final lap. You are the most vulnerable in the lead, and there's only been a handful of times that the driver that's been in the lead at the start of a super speedway race has been in the lead by the end of it. Second, third, that might be more ideal, but again, it's all a question of when do you look to make that move. About to enter the final third of racing action tonight. Ellison still in the fray as well. He runs in third. Has it up there for second. Sean Bounty with the lead. Gabriel Ellison looking to make that move up high. No dice. On board is Ryan Dingler right in the middle of the field as he tries to get this thing sorted. You know, it looks so easy from outside, but you go in car and all of a sudden, okay, not nearly as much room as you were anticipating. I'm not a fan of this. They're starting to get all kind of jocked up there as Justin Wilson nearly got put in the sucker hole. Some huge checkups right in the middle of the field there. Well, they'll keep it the discipline we've been seeing in this third stint has been immense so far today. Again, there's still a long way to go. A lot can happen in the back 18 laps of a race here at Daytona. There's the look up high. Cole Freilich, Ryan Dingler. Both trying to go to the point. Well, the game of chicken is over, and now it's last man standing. Freilich, Dingler, Peterson, Gassion, Morton, and more up high! And he just got put into the fence! And around gonna go Baron Morton, caught up right in front of the 28! Big collisions in turn 2, caution is out for the third time tonight. Oh, and Nathaniel Ames kicked up as he got run into the back of. And for the third time tonight, that 28 car is destroyed. Caution number 3. And that one all started when Bear Morton got turned at the head of the field. Looking like the 66 may have put the 28 into the wall. We'll have to get a better look at that one. Bear Morton got spun around up into the outside wall. Collected aims in a big way there. Around goes Healy. Swaffer gets caught up. Hopfner gets into it. Oh, Miralez just slipped through. Ray got into it. Silver spun into the 28. That's what kicked the 28 car way up into the air. And how about Williams? Just managing to sneak through there as well. Yep, it was Garone that got the 28 car into the fence. Now, that was a completely separate matter, but it had a pretty big contribution, I would reckon, into how this whole thing started out. Right on board with the number 99 of Jacob Miralez. Miralez slipped right through the middle of this. Just about ran into the back of Alex Healy as he was gathering it up. And then, while that was going on, Albert Williams having a close shave as well. This is on board with the number 22. Check her up, check her up, check her up. Where do you go? How about that? Just slips through the middle. Several cars made pit stops here under that yellow flag. No surprises there. Mostly for damage repairs. It is a Toyota 1 through 6. First Ford running all the way back in 11th, and that is headed up by one of the rookies, Tyler Holbert. Sean Bounty looking set to potentially look to retake this lead and potentially drive away with it. We'll find out if he can do just that when we return with the restart on Green Flag TV. Welcome back to Green Flag TV. One lap to go before racing action resumes at the Daytona International Speedway. You're watching the SimRacerHub 150. My name is Olarempo, bringing you all of racing action from start to finish for the season opener of the OMSRL Gold Series presented by SimRacerHub. Over 40 people watching us live on YouTube. A big welcome to all viewers, old and new, to the action. We hope you'll stick around for the whole of the season And for all of the other shows we got across our broadcast roster, with racing every single night of the week. Not something you're going to want to miss. Sean Bounty leading the way. After the latest yellow flag, Nathaniel Ames is still situated at pit road, trying to get damage repaired to salvage some points. West Wiegand now only one lap down. Another caution puts him back on the lead lap. 35 to the 36. Still running. 13 laps to go. If that isn't an omen that this ain't done yet, I don't know what is. We'll enter the Geico restart zone. And green flag is back in the air. Bounty leads the way ahead of Hazard, Ellison, Freilich, and Moore. Whoa, a big look up high. Into the wall goes Robert Peterson on the back straightaway. Gassion went up top. I think Peterson got scared and just drove himself into the fence. And wow, you're telling me we weren't done with the 3 wide? Who could have seen this coming? Look at this. We're nearly 4 wide deeper in the field as Baron Morton slings it up the middle. Takes 6 spots in one corner. Now Hobart and LaFrance potentially trying to open up the third lane up top. LaFrance going to come back down to the middle groove, and that leaves the 87 stranded up high. Well, after that bit of chaos, it looks like we've managed to more or less get things sorted. As I say that, Justin Wilson getting that tail end kicked down right from the middle groove with a bad bump from behind. Gosh, this is nerve-wracking every time we come out here to Daytona. It only ever takes one mistake, and no matter what track you're at, but Daytona and Talladega, the only 2 tracks where, well, that one mistake can cost not just your race, but the race of several others as well. Cody Anderson resets the fastest lap of the race in the 47.088. But he still have not broken in to the 46-second bracket. Looking for 10 laps to go this time by. Gabriel Ellison up top. Sean Bounty down low. Everybody trying to make some moves happen up into the outside wall. Gonna go Dustin Reinstedel. David Farmer nearly got caught in that as well. Farmer now caught all by himself. And we are officially into the 46s. James Silvers puts a 46.771 on the boards. You can tell whenever somebody gets a big bump, right? Because that car just makes a massive twitch out, just like race leader Sean Bounty had. Farmer still working the outside groove. He thinks he's got something up there, and I mean, heck, it's working for him so far. If he can get some help from Maxwell Kroll and Cody Anderson, he might be able to make that drive through to the point. Oh, several cars up into the outside wall again. And now we got cars going around, spinning him down to the inside. Albert Williams caught up. The 13 of Healy caught up. Again, inevitability. All right, guys, take it easy. Let's back her down. Careful. Looking like we're going to get it slowed down just fine. Albert Williams, though, one of the main contenders that kicked off this incident. This happened in the number 22. Bit of a hip check into the wall there from Noah Swafford. to the number 5. That's what started this. Healy caught the 5, and then right in front of Garone. And that 22 car goes for a spin, as does the 13, and they are what brought the yellow flag out. Jacob Noyes just slips through. Wilbur's had to really fight to pedal it to get that car pointed in the right direction. I think that was the 49 of Clinton Sneed that got caught down to the inside. It sure was. This is what Jacob Noyes saw in the number 3. Some class driving all throughout the field. Plenty of time still yet to go, and yet at the same time, not a lot at all. It'll be about 6 laps. Then we take to the green flag. Ryan Stadl into pit road, trying to get some damages repaired. He's had to readjust. He kind of overshot the box. Jacob Noyes in as well, so is Michael Garone, and all of these drivers coming down for damage repairs. Well, we got this time here under the yellow flag. Still a long way to go before that green flag comes back out. So we'll bring Nathaniel Ames up into the broadcast booth, give a chat to one of the drivers here that finds themselves now watching from the sidelines. Nathaniel, a rough ride, caught up in the duels, caught up early on in this race, and then, well, third time's the charm, it seems, and, well, that car is now done for the day.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate. I mean, you know, the duels are one thing. We're just trying to fight for qualifying positions there. We're not too upset there, but, you know, comes to the race, just people being way too aggressive, just not given and taken as, you know, you should on the super speedway plate track. It was rough.
Overall, a disappointing afternoon for you here this afternoon, but we've seen that 28 car getting some more pace in it over the last season or so. Season is a long one. What are your championship end goals, considering there's no playoffs or chase still?
End goals for this season, I haven't ran this car in a little while, but the goal is maybe top 15 in points. I might try to push for top 10 in points, but that's a big ask for some of the tracks on the season. So we're just going to see how it plays out. I'm hoping I can get the transient Chevy to victory lane at least once this season, or maybe at least a couple top 5s, top 10s.
Races on the calendar. What you got circled?
Vegas, I have to pull them up. Just give me 1 second. Vegas, definitely. That's a race I'm sponsoring. It should be next week. Looking to have a lot of fun there. I'm always been strong at Vegas. Definitely Indy. We've seen me lead on the green flag at Indy before. That should be strong. Charlotte's always strong. So a couple of them. Probably Auto Club Championship finale. I know that's probably not going to be me fighting for the championship, but that should be a strong race for me.
All right, well, we'll wish you the best of luck next week in America's Gambling Capital. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the race on the sidelines, and we'll maybe talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Nolan. Have a good rest of your broadcast here.
Nathaniel Ames comes home with a disappointing run all the way back in 36th is where he was officially classified as of right now. Lights are out aboard the iRacing pace car, and we are set to go at it once again. Still got 35 cars in the running, and all 35 of those are still on the lead lap as where they see Wesley Wigan right at the tail of the field, able to take the lucky dog free pass and get himself finally back onto the lead lap. He got caught up in an early crash as well. It'll be a 5-lap dash. Now, for those watching along at home, hedge your bets. Do we go to overtime, or do we get these last 5 laps in clean? Knowing Daytona and knowing OMSRL could go either way. Pace car is going to be in this time by. As the field works their way back around to the green flag. Green flag is back in the air once again to the Geico restart zone. And Sean Bounty trying to hang on for 5 more. Down the back straightaway. Gabriel Ellison pushed clear by Cole Fralick. Sean Bounty still fighting the low side. Ellison clears. Oh, big door check there as Fralick careens into the side of Sean Bounty. Somehow they keep it going the right direction. Behind them, Robert Peterson getting a bit muscled out by the 50 car of Justin Wilson. Maxwell Kroll having to take evasive action up top as well. Fralick trying to see if he can make some gambles as well. The 27, oh, there we go! Round goes the 82, up into the air, tumbling into the catch fence. A terrifying crash on the back straightaway. Maxwell Kroll takes flight, takes off. Didn't know SpaceX had scheduled a launch today. But a good chunk of the backstretch fencing just about got torn down as Kroll flew up and into it. Slammed out on his roof and went tumbling down the back straightaway. My, oh my. It's been a couple weeks for a scary crash on the back straightaway here at Daytona. And well, notwithstanding the one that we just had this afternoon. Started with the 82 car. Got spun in the middle. Goes up into traffic and Kroll gets into the wall, gets mashed in up into the catch fence. And just goes tumbling down the back straightaway in tremendous fashion. All the while, cars are sliding, slamming through the infield. Just piling on top of one another down there. Up into the air and, well, around goes the lot. Good half the field caught up in that major crash on the back straightaway. Tough break for Tyler Hesseling, and in fact, it started up top above him as Farber actually turned down with the 87. What a wild ride. The number 2 car of Wes Weigand may have just slipped through the middle there. We'll take a look. Check them all up and slips through the apron. A great job to get around that. But a nasty ride for Kroll. He got put into the wall, got caught up by the 87, and goes up. There's the fence once, gets pushed back into it by Justin Ray. And that is a wild sight down the back straightaway. Got up on top of the 87, I think, there. for flipping over the back deck lid and landing back on the fours. I didn't even realize that 87 was underneath him until all of that. Holy cow. Right with Justin Wilson, he got a great angle of this. There's the flip up and over top of the 87. And look out for the camera on the wall, just barely avoided getting taken out. A massive crash on the back straightaway will see this race go to our first attempt at overtime. So first, Speedway check-in attempt, we have 3 of them for those unfamiliar. Overtime in stock car racing means we'll add 2 laps to the total. If we make it to the white flag, whatever happens, happens. If we crash on the first lap back, we'll reset, we'll try it again. If we get to the 3rd attempt, and we get another yellow, the race ends under caution. Two laps the distance as Cole Freilich will try to fend off against Gabriel Ellison in a 5-mile dash to the finish. Sean Bounty still in the mix. He wants to continue to fight this thing out. And this is going to be a finish to remember. Down the back straightaway, Cole Freilich continues to lead. Grant Peterson trying to shove him clear. Gabriel Ellison in the mix. Oh no! To the outside wall! Freilich's turn! Peterson's turn! A big crash in turn number 3! Massive accident as we ride them all up! Stacking them in big! The 3rd big one of the night! And we'll have to do it all over again. Davey Hazard escapes the melee, so does LaFrance. Gassion, Dingler, Bounty somehow escapes. And another 15-plus car pileup will see us try it again for our 2nd attempt at overtime. Just getting a little bit too greedy. Cole Freilich went up and tried to block the 27 of Gabriel Ellison. Got put into the wall for his trouble. Spun down into Peterson. Hazard escapes down low. Watched the 15 get kicked up into the air on top of the 99. And it was just a madhouse as everyone comes flying in at full speed. The 57 of Stefan Purcell nearly got flipped upside down. Flogger, who have been doing great all day, has been caught up in that. Hunter Thrower manages to slip through. Golly. It almost looked like Justin Wilson and co. got caught up in a completely separate wreck back here, just trying to avoid the mess. They got tangled up, just trying to get themselves sorted and run down the leaders. And there you saw them all check up, and then, yeah, that was a completely separate crash. A result of the first one, yes, but good grief. From up top. Wall, and it's on. Sean Bounty, in fact, did not get out of it. One driver that did, though, Hunter Thrower. The Exalta number 83 now up to 14th after he went right through the middle. Ah, never mind. He definitely got pinned up into the wall. It's just one of those situations, right? Like, where are you supposed to go in a wreck like that, man? I mean, crazy. On board with Gassione. He has secured third after he manages to slip right through. So we will be on our second attempt at overtime. And he will add 2 more laps and we'll try it yet again. We are now working what was due to be a 60-lap race. We are now on lap 64 of 66 as the lights go out. .36 cars started the race, and for the longest time, 35. In fact, all 36 were in the run, and now within the span of about 10 laps or so, we are down to, well, we still got 34 running, but only 32 on the lead lap. Make that 33 running. Now, if I'm Davey Hazard or Conor LaFrance, Sean Bounty, Gassione, Dingler, I'm getting worried on fuel. They've been out there for 42 laps. David Farmer as well. They have not pitted since the stage. I'm a little concerned on fuel at this point if this goes much further than this. Whenever you go into overtime, you've been out there for that long. I mean, it's start to wonder if you're going to be able to make it work. Coming back around, Davey Hazard leading the way, trying to see who will come home the winner. The SimRacerHub 150. Green flag is back in the air. Oh, David Farmer playing defense back here. He's blocking Miralez. wanting someone to help push him up there towards the head of the field. Not a lot of help being given. Stacking up the field back here. 3 wide, nearly 4 wide down the back straight with 1 down on the apron. Farmer with a busted up race car. Just holding up the field in turn 3. Nowhere for Miralez to go. Everyone on the inside line can only watch helplessly as one by one they fade by on the top side. Contact. Miralez onto the apron. White flag is in the air. This will be the final trip around Daytona International Speedway. Several drivers now running down the front runners. Davey Hazard leads the way. Gassion right behind him, trying to see if he can get something sorted out. Trouble back straight away. Row gonna go. Justin Ray. Big crash on the background. One car's just got up and overlooked that in a moment. Round the outside. Here comes Gassion. Gassion with a big run. Sean Bounty going with him. Ryan Dingler still in the mix as well. Davey Hazard trying to hang on. Dingler up the middle. 3 wide to the line here for the Sabres at 150 to the stripe. Hazard hangs on to take the checkered flag. They crash across the line. Crashing again off of turn number 4. A big impact for the 13. But Davey Hazard in a 3 wide photo finish hangs on for the W. And the Martini number 75. First career win in OMSRL for Davey Hazard. You never forget your first, especially when it comes at Daytona. Absolutely incredible drive for Hazard. An extremely intense drive sees him to victory lane this afternoon. And we'll get a look back on everything that went down on that final lap. Because there is a lot to unpack in what happened on the back straightaway and more. We'll do this one at a time. We'll start with the big crash on the back straightaway. So this is everyone just in a mad scramble trying to get something working for them on the final lap. The 38 of Justin Ray gets turned and ends up going upside down and tumbling down the back straightaway with the rest of the field falling apart. Oh, another big impact for the 57 of Stefan Purcell. One by one, cars work themselves out of these final few corners. Look at Peterson trying to go to the middle here. That car grabbing big time. Gets into the 13 machine. And right into the path of Ellison again. So these, the same 4 or 5 guys, wrecked about 6 or 7 different times. And then, of course, the big one, moment here coming out of turn numbers 3 and 4. As they came down towards the start-finish line. It was 3 by 3 wide. And right there, Davey Hazard by that much is able to pick up the race win with Gassione in second. And Dingler all the way back in third. Unbelievable finish here this afternoon. And we're going to get the chance to take a rundown of your official post-race results here this afternoon. It all closes on out with a huge drive this afternoon from Davey Hazard taking his maiden win in the OMSRL Gold Series. Austin Gassione comes home number 2 with Ryan Dingler having to settle for 3rd. Sean Bounty in 4th. James Silvers in 5th with LaFrance in 6th. Kroll in 7th. Holtner in 8th. Peterson and Wilbers close out the top 10. 11th place headed up by Baron Morton along with Justin Reinstedel in 12th. Quinton Sneed and Albert Williams in 13th and 14th. Sean Kais for the top 15. Rucker Hurlbutt will close out the top half of the field with Joseph Plogger down in 18th, along with Cody Anderson and Jacob Noyes, rounding out the top 20. From there, Michael Garone, David Farmer, Jacob Miralez, Noah Swafford, Stephen Purcell, Matt Grenier, Justin Wilson, Wes Wiegand, Gabriel Ellison, and Alex Healy close out the top 30. Justin Ray was upside down to the final lap. He'll finish the last car in the lead lap alongside Cole Frayling a lap down with Grant Peterson in 33rd. Thrower, Hessling, and Ames all failed to finish race in action this afternoon. A wild ride throughout the final stages there of that one, and we'll look set to give a chit-chat here to all the drivers that come home, numbers 1, 2, and 3 this afternoon. We'll look to kick it off first and foremost with the man of the hour, Davey Hazard. Comes home as the race winner this afternoon. Davey, you never forget your first. You especially don't forget it if it's at Daytona in a 3-wide photo finish. Talk us through the final overtime attempt this afternoon.
Oh, man. Well, first of all, I was surprised I even made it through that wreck. And I knew it was going to be tough after that because all the guys that were left up there are so good. They're always so fast. And I was just talking with Austin. Really, we were coming to the line, and Ryan made that move to the outside on the front stretch. And I was like, I can't wreck all these guys, so I'm just gonna have to hang out down here. And I saw like a black and orange dot behind me that was like just hauling the mail. And I was like, I hope he gets here soon, and he did. And that bump that he gave me, I think it was Silver's. That won me the race, man. A big thank you to him.
An intense race to start off the season. The only one with duels as well. Do you reckon the 10-lap sprint that you had leading up to this race had a helping hand in figuring out what worked and what didn't to take the win tonight?
I mean, yeah, I figured out that I shouldn't be pushing too hard because those cars were all over the place, and so I figured out very quickly where my comfort level was, and I spent a lot. And it helped me kind of stay up front. I was really never outside the top 5. I was behind Bounty for a lot, like almost the whole race, just pushing him. And the track position became so important because it was hard to work your way through the field, which is, that's this car at this track. But yeah, the dual races are honestly stressful because you don't want to wreck in the dual race and start in the back after a decent qualifying run. So besides learning stuff, it did help me put myself in a better spot for the main event.
Well, looking forward to the rest of the season. Your first win of the championship. Do you reckon this is a sign that a title bid might be on the line here?
Listen, like I said, there's a lot of fast guys in this league, and everyone in this league seems to get faster and faster. And last season, I was okay with hanging out in the top 10, top 5. Making sure people knew that I was a respectable driver. This season, I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's not always going to look good. But I mean, my goal is a title. I do want to win the title here, and I like this car. I like racing these guys. If I don't do it, that's fine. It's a lofty goal, but I would say that's probably my end goal is I want to compete at least for the title.
We wish you the best of luck when we go racing once again in a week's time at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Congratulations on your maiden win. We'll see if we can follow it up over in America's gambling capital.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Davey Hazard comes home number 1 this afternoon. We'll bring up Austin Gassion from Eastern Stars Motorsports, bringing it home number 2 this afternoon. Austin shy by just 200ths, but you are able to make that drive around Ryan Dingler to take it by 8th out for the number 2 spot on the podium. Talk us through the closing 2 laps of this race for you.
Yeah, what's good? Just, with these cars, you got to have someone running your bumper, get help, and I was trying to make my move last second, and on the backstretch I had a huge run. Thought Ryan was gonna go with me. He faked me out, but luckily I side drafted enough to still get a podium. And after the whole race, I'm really happy with P2.
It was a hard-fought race for you this afternoon. Anything you think you could have done differently that might have changed the outcome on the final lap there?
Yeah, wait till make the final move on the backstretch. I feel like I was the first one to pull the trigger. Usually I wait a little bit more, but I had such a huge run. But can't change the past. Just gotta look forward to next week, and it is what it is.
All right, we'll wish you the best of luck when we go racing once again. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is up next. A track that has seen mixed results on that number 1 car. What's your take on it here in the B-Class car?
Well, overall, I have very little racing this B-Class car, so I'm just here just to have fun. Hopefully, if we can get a couple wins, a couple podiums, get the team championship. But Vegas in general has been good to me. Hopefully, I can put it together next week and be talking again here on the podium.
All right, we'll wish you the best of luck when we go racing once again. Congratulations on number 2, and we'll see you when we go racing next week.
Thank you.
Austin Gassion comes home number 2 this afternoon, and we'll look to potentially give a chit-chat here with Ryan Dingler as well, who finishes his race up in 3rd this afternoon. I hope I didn't interrupt something, but Ryan, if you're busy, let me know. But 3rd place for you this afternoon, and what a ride.
Yeah, I was just, honestly, I usually wreck at these, so I was just trying to bide my time, and I was just going to take whatever the race gave me, and I saw an opportunity there coming to the line to push it 3 wide and us not wreck. I figured that we could, the 3 that were up there, we could do it and get a good finish, and we did. I'd probably got 2nd if it wasn't for that good bump from Silvers to Hazard. He got a really good shove and gave him the win. But congrats to him, though. It was really good to see Davey win. He's a good dude.
Well, we'll obviously this race, one that tends to be a bit of a tiring one here, but I mean, you're able to pull off a great finish regardless, and it's so important to start these seasons off strong, especially with how every point tends to matter when you don't have any kind of like a playoff or a chase format. Season-long aspirations, what are you thinking about it?
I'm just here to have fun. I mean, if I can do good in the points, that's good. But if not, at least we can, get what we can get, and hopefully everyone here has a good time. Being an admin, I'd like to see a lot of cars continue to show up and have fun. So I lean more towards the admin side. So that's kind of my thing. But I mean, getting good results is always fun too. So let's hope for that.
All right, well, we will wish you the best of luck when we go racing next week at Vegas. Congratulations in the meantime on 3rd, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Ryan Dingler comes home number 3 this afternoon, and, well, with that is going to be about all the time we're going to have for one afternoon. Holy cow. I am at a loss for words. A wild, wild race, though, to close things out here from the Daytona International Speedway, and if that's anything to go by, we got a really, really awesome season in store for us just down the road. Before we get to all of that and more, we got racing action coming on up with preseason racing with the Super Formula Lights for the Beer League for the Silverstone Circuit. That'll be tomorrow night at 9:20 p.m. It's a doubleheader on Thursday with the Average Joe Sim Racing League out at the Dover Motor Speedway alongside the Speed Cup Series with their season opener at Echo Park Speedway on Thursday. Fridays, we'll see the Bolt Racing League Lightning Series take to Homestead Miami Speedway with more SRA NASC Classic action on Saturday nights. And then the Blaze of Pedals Orca Series returns to Chicagoland for race 16, alongside the For the Boys Racing League for race 2 at Atlanta Motor Speedway over on Sunday night. Monday sees us back for more action for the High Top Racing Garden Vermeer Series. at Michigan International Speedway, and then we will see a return to Las Vegas for the OMSRL Gold Series presented by SimRacerHub here for round number 2 of the championship. If you want to find out more about who we are and what we can offer you, check us out today at www.greenflagtv.com. As always, my name is Ola Rampo. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you all when we go racing on Tuesday night on Green Flag TV.